to be on the right thing.
Oh, can you sing the Mando intro theme song? I was supposed to get it, but I didn't.
Dun 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 dun. Wait, we got to start from the.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, you got to start with a boing. But I love that in season 2 they're using more of the fanfare though. Dun 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 dun, dun. Like all the horns.
Oh yeah. Well,
so
welcome
good
to the
Thank you.
Maudalorian with that intro. What's up? Maudalorian herself here. Maude, hi. Leo's out this week, but I've got an Anthony Carboni here with me. Sup?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Apparently, you know a little thing or two about Star Wars. Why would that be?
I am a bit familiar about Star Wars. For the last few years, I've been hosting the Star Wars show for Lucasfilm, and I do Star Wars red carpets and events. We just did Mando Mondays and the Mandalorian red carpet premiere and all these things. A lot of Star Wars.
Let's just do a quick little recap. How did you find the first 3 Star Wars movies? Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker.
How'd I find the last 3 movies?
Yeah.
They were great.
Okay.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them. Last Jedi is probably my favorite of the 3.
I like Last Jedi. And people pull it apart and they Zelda. And they
Zelda's like, F the Last Jedi.
So I just bought Zelda pajamas and I think she's really mad at me. Because she looks
no. Oh no.
Cover her little
Are those little Kirby's?
She hates me. Off you go, bub. Let me quickly just pop that back into place. There we go. Sorry about that. So you like The Last Jedi the most out of all of them? That's great.
I do, but I like them all. Every Star Wars is a good Star Wars.
Fantastic. And now we're getting into TV territory. What do you think of the first season of Mandalorian?
Oh my gosh. So brilliant. So brilliant. I mean, we've had so much good Star Wars stuff over the last, not just the last 5 years, but over the last, over the last 10, 15, 20 years with the animated stuff. And obviously, like when I heard that Dave was going to be working with Jon Favreau and creating this show, it was very, very, very exciting. And it just keeps paying off. Because it takes all of my favorite Star Wars stuff, like the sort of like samurai movie influences and
going Western,
the very like the lone wolf and cub in Star Wars is just like, yeah, good, give it to me.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I want. But it also like leans in heavily into like weird creatures and weird humor. Like one of my favorite moments of season 1 was the retrieval of the egg. You remember it was one of the first couple episodes, the retrieval of the egg from the Mudhorn.
Yep.
And like at the end, all they want is they just want to crack it open and eat it. And I was just like, God, that's so good. and then to have that mirrored again, like the whole running gag of this baby Yoda just needs to eat everything all the time.
Yeah, hungry growing boy, isn't he?
He's only 54 years old. He's a growing boy. He needs to eat everything. The frog lady episode from a couple weeks back.
Mm-hmm.
These are the last of my kind. This is the last of my species. And he's just like, wow, wow.
Yeah.
So good.
That's why they made them like just cookies now.
Mm-hmm. The macaroons this episode were very good. Space macaroons. But I love that, like,
That's where blue milk comes from, by the way. That's where blue milk comes from.
Yeah, it comes from the mouths of baby Yodas.
Yeah.
It's like the foie gras of Star Wars. It comes from like baby Yoda digestive systems.
They're putting it back on Tatooine. Yeah, they love it.
They love it.
Transfer is the baby Yoda. There you go.
I don't know, how have you been feeling about it? How have you been liking The Mandalorian?
I find the series to be incredibly formulaic. As you know, I design. That's a good point. Nathan says better than green milk, where it's. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Just like.
Oh, it made that thalasiren makes quite a noise when you milk it. Yeah, it does. But I love that stuff. I love weird, gross, funny Star Wars stuff, and this series is full of it, man. The whole the baby last week on Mon Cala trying to eat chowder, and the chowder is full of like angry squids.
Yeah, exactly.
So good.
Nick Anderson's loving my sound effects, so that's something.
Oh, good.
Terry makes such a great point here. I think that Jon Favreau is projecting himself in the child. He did chef, and ever since then, he's had a thing for food.
Yeah, I like the chef show. He's a very food guy, and I think that's fun when it comes to Star Wars because Star Wars food gets to be so weird. Like when you think about Luke's little bento box, you know, when he lands on Dagobah and his like bento box is full of like, I don't know, like vegan sausages and tempeh and like whatever it is. And then you've got Rey's dehydrated space broccoli and like food gets to be so weird. And I think if you're somebody who's a foodie and you start thinking about, well, what is it like? What is weird food like in space? Like there's so many opportunities. Plus it's just a cool everyday thing. Like seeing people eating and drinking and hanging around is just such a thing that, I don't know, you don't get to spend a lot of time with in sci-fi usually. At least Star Wars is always movies, so it's always moving so quickly. So in a series format, I love that we get to like hang out on these planets a little bit more and see what everybody's eating and drinking and how they're doing it, you know?
But also a huge point of conversation was the fact that Mando never removes his helmet. And then this time we actually see him eat for the first time. And for like over a season, I've been wondering how that goes down. And he does. He does his little soup slurp. But that beautiful moment like between both of them sharing a meal. But then also Mando trying to get Baby Yoda to replug wires. And that
you pulled from blue.
Oh,
now put it back into red. Put the red where the blue was.
Don't put them close together. Don't do it.
So good.
But the sound effects that we're getting out of Baby Yoda more than ever. So
he's trying to vocalize now, you know? Like you wonder what the child's first 50 years were like, right? Because other than Yoda and Yaddle, we
don't know about the species.
We don't know about the species, and we don't know the condition of the child or where it was living or how. I mean, we know it was not treated.
Again?
Species.
Oh no.
Why?
I say species.
That's okay. You're from a different country than I am.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I think it's interesting to think about how the child has been treated and why it's like, do they normally talk by now? Do they not? Is he actually a toddler in every way? And like hearing those kind of like toddler gurgles at like, you know, when you're around toddlers and they're trying to talk and it's like, it's almost a word, like you can almost hear what they're trying to say. I love that. I love that we're watching the child grow.
I like the Nathan's comment here, sipping some bone broth with the boy. Oh, there we go. Sorry. And I've been corrected. Last season, episode 4, he eats in solitude in the small fishing village. True. This is something I think about a lot. How does he go to the bathroom? You know, all that kind of stuff. What is
he just has to make sure that no one can see.
He just does everything.
Unlike the rest of us who never do that when we go to the bathroom. When you're the Mandalorian, you have to make sure that you're going to the bathroom in private and not in public.
He's just got to hold it. Okay, so about 7 minutes of last episode that I did, I spent, a while talking about the physics behind throwing up in the mask.
Or sneezing or anything. Anything,
well, he
right?
Really catch light, even though he's got a T-bar. He doesn't necessarily catch light to cause the sneeze. And it would stop a lot of pollen and like, you know, little fibers from going into the nose. So maybe sneezing is not really going to happen.
He's definitely got some sort of filtration system in there because he's going in and out of so many digestive systems. This guy. Din Djarin loves to go in and out of a digestive system.
When did they say his name was Din Djarin? When did that happen?
End of last season.
Got it. That's what I missed. I didn't fully focus on that episode, I don't think.
Ooh, I love that last one.
Yeah, but I watch 2-3 screens at a time these days.
Busy lady. So many things to watch, so many screens.
I would rather do 3 things at like 30% than one thing at 100%.
How's that working out for you?
I missed a key crucial moment of this. I think it speaks for itself. So anyway, we're in the Razor Crest. It's not looking so great. They're trying to fix the system a little bit. We got Mando here having a soups cute moment with our new schoolboy. Do you remember when it was your first day of school and you're like,
I looked just like that.
I don't feel like I belong.
I think my clothes were just as ill-fitting. I was just as small at the desk. I was always one of the smallest kids at school.
I was not.
And yeah, I know. Maude is 7'3".
Yeah.
And I'm 4'9".
That's sweet.
So, so I love this. I love going back to Nevarro because for the first few episodes of this season, you know, the first season did so much establishing and so much introducing, and so I was kind of waiting. Like, we knew that these characters were going to come back. We knew we were going to see them again.
Stalled a little though. It stalled a little bit, and now there's a lot of references from season 1, so it's tying it all in together big time. Yeah.
I think it was lovely to kind of go back to Nevarro and see it changed. And one thing that is super good that I really enjoyed is the good baby. I don't know if you saw it in the background, but when they're taking the baby boy to school, there's on Nevarro, there's a statue in town square of IG-11. So like there's a little Taika-bot statue for like his service and his sacrifice to Nevarro.
Oh, that's really sweet. No, I missed that completely because I was like,
yeah, it was good. It was just in the background a little bit.
Yeah, okay. That's sweet. What other fun facts on this episode?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, there's some big stuff this episode, but it all kind of happens towards the end.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like fun reunion. And when I say reunion, let's get the team back because there's a mission. There's a mission. I really do like the fact, though, that we are revisiting the pilot.
Yeah.
What's his name? Fish boy?
The fish boy. Oh, the pilot's name is Mithril, but he's not really a pilot. He's like an accountant.
No, he was in the pilot episode.
Oh, he was in the pilot. Yeah. That's Horatio Sands.
Yeah. I think it's really great. And this is what you were talking about, like the essence of Star Wars that you like so much. It's like weird aliens being funny. Does this mean you think that Mithril is just like fantastic?
Mithril's not my top. Mithril, I didn't mind. I liked Mithril more this time than I did first time around.
I really liked him in the first episode. I thought it was so funny.
I thought first time around he was more, you know, when we're talking about how Mando plays on those tropes, this series plays on those tropes. There's that like, I'm so harmless. I'm not really a criminal. Don't bring me in. I'm going to try to turn on you. And so he really played more of like a plot point in that first episode than he did a character. So it was nice to see Mithril become more of a character and get a little bit more backstory. I love how much he loves his speeder.
Yeah. Love this.
So good. But yeah, it was cool to see Mithril back. It was cool to get a little more backstory, you know, as to why the Empire had such a presence on Nevarro. Especially since throughout the series, you know, we've been
Dave or Hector? It's not my best joke. It's not my best joke. It's not. You keep saying Nevarro, and I say Dave or Hector.
Oh, gotcha. Yes. Yes. Very good. Very good jokes.
What were you saying?
No, very good jokes. It was good to have a little bit more backstory because we're always told that the Empire couldn't hold on to the Outer Rim. Nobody hangs around in the Outer Rim. So like, what were they all doing there? Was it just that like the child, they expected the child to be brought back to them there? It was cool to kind of see what was going on. And the fact that it was so sinister and honestly, what I love about Star Wars recently in the last few years is like anything that seems unexplained or strange, hang out.
You get an
hang
answer.
out because something's going to get answered, right? Like last episode, even when Bo-Katan and the other Mandalorians come out and they're like, oh, he's one of those weirdos that doesn't take his helmet off.
Yeah.
Because that's the first thing everybody was talking about. I was like, what happened? Why don't they take their helmets off? That's not a Mandalorian thing. When did that become a thing? And like, so it's cool. Like if you hang out, like it all kind of happens and it gets answered, you know?
And in this case, we're talking what? The laboratory?
Yeah, we're talking about the laboratory.
I bit my tongue.
So I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
All day today.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it the cold weather? That happens to me when like the weather gets cold. All of a sudden I start biting my tongue or my lip more.
No, I just think I'm clumsy. Yeah.
Well,
I also just like totally stopped that conversation just to have like a little violin moment as well.
Well, I mean,
I give my episode
I feel for you. I do feel for you.
Me right now, we're rating the episode, and some people got their episode ratings in as well. I give me right now like a 4 out of 10.
But what did you give the episode?
I liked it. I liked it a lot more this time. I think I still prefer last week's episode, but this one I liked that something happened. I'm just a little bit over Cara Dune, you know. She did have a little badass moment, and if I may refer to my notes here. Oh, in all capitals, he consumed under the helmet. Testicle mouth is back. Cara Dune, final badass sequence. But animals like her, in parentheses, animals can't read Twitter.
I have no official comment about anybody's Twitter account. None whatsoever.
When I watch the show.
But yeah, the Aquilans, like Ponda Baba.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool to see them. I like her little space meerkat.
Yeah, she saved it.
She saved a little space meerkat. She's feeding it at the end.
She's just got like, if you like comparatively,
they're like basketballs.
And then she does the sleeper hold a lot.
Yeah.
Like she lifts.
She lifts.
She lifts.
Cara Dune lifts for sure.
Like could pick both of us up, hoik, and then do like squats while
I'm into it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it. But yeah, I love seeing that badass moment. I like all these marshals. We're using the word marshal so much in this season, and that's so good.
What would you be the marshal of?
Oh God. Oh God. Nothing. Nobody should make me the marshal of anything.
The marshal of patio furniture.
Just because I have patio furniture?
I don't really. So yeah.
Well, I guess that does make me rank more highly in terms of patio furniture. So out of the two of us, I would be the marshal of patio furniture. You would be the marshal of curtains.
Do you know about this? Hi, Seige.
This is another thing that I have no official knowledge of, and I don't know anything about anybody's Twitter. Everybody.
Seige, what did you say? Tell us the story.
Oh, don't tell us the story. Please don't tell the story. Don't
tell. We're not gonna tell the story.
That's not a story for for today.
Nope. We'll just move on. Hi, Seige. Nathan says, I was thinking it was a space ferret, and then saying she's thick. She is super strong.
She is strong.
Alderaanians.
But that's what's funny though, right? Like, I mean, Alderaanians are just, I guess what we know is Alderaanians are very strong, strong of personality at the very least.
At the very least.
At the very least.
They've got good constitution. Nathan says you should be marshal of the bathroom.
Marshal of the bathroom? Okay. Or is that what he's the marshal of?
Maybe. I think they wanted what is this? They wanted the creature to breathe fire originally? Which creature?
I don't know.
Tell me more about this.
Which creature did they want to breathe fire? Not a particularly creature heavy episode.
I think it did breathe fire. There was a picture of it in the end credits. What is it? What were we just talking about? The ferret.
Oh, the ferret.
The ferret.
Oh, the ferret was supposed to breathe fire. Oh,
Rodents
that's
of
fun.
unusual size? I don't think they exist. Oh, and one of the bump-faced aliens was singed. What was the actual term for the alien?
Aquilans.
And how is that a bum and not a set of testicles? Like,
it's a regional thing.
Okay. I love that you answered. So Cara Dune is back. She has her badass moment. There's a team that's reunited again. Carl Weathers, who directed this episode.
He directed
the episode.
What can't Carl Weathers do? I ask you.
Tell a lie?
That's right. He could, and it would be the greatest lie ever told, but he won't.
He could, and that's the power.
That's the beauty of Carl Weathers. I got to talk to him a little bit for Mando Mondays about coming on as a director, and he just had the best time. He just loved it. Yeah, it could be either one. It's regional. He just had the best time as a director. Like, had the most fun. It's got to be like it's got to be such a trippy thing to direct because they're sitting in that dome. They're in that dome the entire time. Yeah. None of it's real. Everybody's acting up against like basically a really good rear projection screen.
Yeah.
It's got to be fascinating
though, isn't it? I think that's just such incredible filmmaking. This is down in Long Beach that the studio is? Is it in Long Beach?
Yeah. Manhattan Beach. Yeah. Somewhere. And one of the other things that I think is amazing is Carl Weathers directed this episode, and I think directed one of, and I mean there are a lot, one of the strongest action sequences in Star Wars.
Half of this episode was action as well.
Yeah, and then to have it culminate in that in the speeder chase.
I know that felt good.
It felt really good.
Yeah.
It felt really good. So they so I mean I guess what we're getting to is they convinced Mando to put his kid in daycare.
Yep.
And go to this mystery Imperial base where nothing much is supposed to be happening.
And yet there are stormtroopers waiting.
And I love that we get the return of the Doctor from the first season. He's
supposed to be dead and he's not. So
here's some Star Wars inside baseball, which I'm sure a lot of people out there caught. That is his jacket has an emblem, and that emblem is worn by Kaminoan clones.
One more time.
So Kamino is the planet that made the clone army. So in episode 2, when they go and they're making the big long neck people are like, "Hey, Obi-Wan, here's your army that you ordered," and he's like, "I didn't order an army. That's crazy." Please do it in the
real voice. Please do it in the real voice.
Do what in the real voice? Do the Obi-Wan voice?
No, the Kamino.
I can't do Kaminoan. Can you do it?
The clones have arrived. We have given you the clones that you have ordered.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that all right?
It's kind of a digital assistant phone operator voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Doctor,
the one on the lapel? I'm looking at pictures right now.
Yeah, it looks like almost 2 eyes. It almost looks like the Incredibles logo. So that's clones. That Doctor is potentially a clone, or is involved with cloning, or is involved with Kamino. Like, when I saw that emblem on the first, I was like, "What are you doing with that? Why do you have that?"
This is him. I just pulled a pic and I'm going to show it. Boom. Right in the middle there.
Yeah. So there's the patch on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And that probably means there's more Doctors out there, but we don't know. And it's he popped up on a hologram.
So they're kind of really trying to thread in this whole clone thing again. We had, and clones have been a huge part of Star Wars. When you think back, we've got the Clone Wars. We've also got the Attack of the Clones. Snoke was a clone. Rey and somehow was what she was kind of doubled up. Was that the Snoke thing that was clone only?
Yeah, Snoke was clone, Rey was granddaughter.
Yeah, but like, I still don't like thinking too much about that.
But, you know, on an infinite timeline in Star Wars, everyone gets to be a clone. You could be a clone if you wanted to. Well, there you go.
Nick says Imperial clones. Who could it be? Who could it be?
Well, and what I love is when they see these half-formed clones, you know, we don't get a clear look at what the clones are, but there's a music cue that is Snoke's music cue. It's the Snoke theme when they look at the clones. Now that doesn't mean they're clones of Snoke. We don't know, or
just that there's the cloning process.
Yeah, but we do know it's a cloning process. We're kind of leading towards, you know, kind of everything that's happening. And the clones, Nathan brought up that the clones are super deformed.
Is this true?
Is that true?
Is that true, Stephen Summers?
Is that true?
Make me sleep at night.
Is that true? Oh yeah, yes. The novelization. In the novelization, it's mentioned. Yes. They never say anything about it in the movie, but it's mentioned in the novel.
Get out. All right. He believes it's true. Yeah. Is Moff Gideon trying to give himself the Force through a transplant?
So I don't think Moff Gideon is trying to give himself the Force. Moff Gideon
is trying to
he works for someone. And they're making clones, and they want the child's blood, because the child's blood has what they say is a high M count, which we can only assume is not Mandalorian, is midichlorians. So either they need the blood to make a clone work, or the blood is too strong to put into clones, but they're trying.
Or they're making Force sensitive clones.
Well, I think that's what they're trying to do, and that's why they need the child's blood. Mandalorians is what they're called.
Thank you, Nick. That's really handy. Okay.
But so there's
I mean, he's such a little thing. How has he got that much blood in him?
Yeah, well, and the interesting line that the doctor has is, that's as much blood as I could get without killing the child.
Yeah, so they're extracting, and he's an experiment, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, we knew from the way he was like shaking the moment the doctor like showed up in the first season. Like Yoda was like the baby, the child, the boy was just like, no.
Yeah.
So we know that he was not treated very well.
And now he's just hungry. Maybe he's just been so food deprived for so long.
He's a grown boy. He's iron deficient. You know what I mean? They took all that blood from him.
So yeah, macaroon's definitely the cure for that.
So I love that happened. I love
where he's like, "Can you help me?"
Yeah, and the kid's like,
"No." Okay.
See, I love the way they just drop a toddler in a class with like 7-year-olds. Like every other kid was like 6, 7 years old.
9.
The kid's just like,
yeah. Oh, I'll show you one more time. I got it. He's so cute.
He's just like, he's not supposed to be there.
Oh,
that's like, you can't be there, guy. That's like when a kid carries around a briefcase. He's too young.
He's so sweet.
He's too young. He doesn't know what that's about.
I had some favorite moments of this episode.
Lay them on me.
That Baby Yoda is becoming more articulate, and his noises are just the best. I love the fact that the computers will always be like canonically stuck in like the 70s/80s.
Yeah. The targeting computer.
So much. I love it. And like every time they start any of the ships, it's just clunk, 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 just like all these really old school basic prop functions from the very first Star Wars. But now it has to exist in the universe across all platforms. I just adore it. Like, look behind you.
Yeah.
Just
a lot of like a lot of 70s, 60s and 70s supercomputers.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that.
Yep.
And nothing has like a visual interface too. So like when they're downloading data from a computer, they're looking for a message. It's always given to you like in blinking lights. Sometimes it's really classy and you'll get like a little readout of like Arabesh on a screen, just a little one, you know, or it's a hologram.
Yeah.
Arabesh is the font that the Star Wars font that they use when you can't tell what the words say.
Oh.
That's Arabesh.
Thank you. Today.
Yeah. And they are just, you can read it. It's all just like the Gregorian alphabet, like our alphabet, but there's just a symbol for every letter. So Galactic Basic is really just English, but it's written differently.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That was someone's job, but now it's canon.
Now it's canon. I can read it at a speed of about 4 words a minute. Yeah. But the guy who's the designer, the graphic designer for our show and for StarWars.com, he fluently reads Arabesh.
Wow.
Because he has to type in it so much.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. I love that stormtroopers still aren't hitting anyone unless they've got Mando armor.
Mm-hmm.
Every time they shoot at Mando, it hits and connects. Doink. But every time someone's running without armor, nothing.
They can't do it.
Can't do it.
They can't do it. The blaster bolts are naturally magnetized to Beskar steel.
That to be true. I need that to be true for it to make sense. And then, of course, the speeder bike chase. That just was a lot of fun. And having Carl Weathers, who's directed this episode, sitting, man the guns is something that I want someone to say to me just once, so that I can go and. I want
to be able to say, "Take evasive. I've got this." Which is his line when he jumps down. He's like, and they see the TIE fighters coming. He's like, "Take evasive. I've got this." I was like, "Ooh, they're just two cool people. 2 cool people in a cool battle tank."
Evasive, I've got man the guns, and then I'll turn around and be like, "I am no man." Yeah.
Sick of terrible stormtroopers.
Yeah.
But I do love that the bit has been leaned into so hardcore, where like there was a bit in the Clone Wars where I think it's Rex puts on trooper armor, or it's it's in Rebels. It's in Rebels. Rex puts on trooper armor,
and he's
like, I can't. He's like, how do they hit anything? There's no visibility.
Yeah.
And then the whole bit with Jason Sudeikis and Adam Pally, where they're talking about how sucky their armor is. Like, I love it. Sons of Anarchy, this life intro in my head. I'd love to see, God, I want to see, and I'm sure we'll see it eventually, like, because they're doing all this stuff in The Mandalorian, but I'd love to see a biker gang, just a straight up Star Wars biker gang.
I'm doing a Buffy rewatch. There was a Hell's Gate, kind of like the Hell's Mouth demon biker gang.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and at like beginning of season 6.
Yeah, and I don't recall that episode very much, but I do remember that like Giles used to be a biker boy, a bad biker punk boy, and he has like a leather jacket hidden somewhere. Ripper,
his first kill. Yeah,
they call him Ripper.
We've got one from questions for Anthony. Ask away. Paolo Marini says, "Hey, Tony, what you watching on your watch?"
Oh goodness, obviously watching that new Bake Off. Love the new Bake Off. Just got done. What did I just get done watching? I just watched not too long ago. Well, no, that was kind of long ago, but Harley Quinn. I watched all the Harley Quinn animated, which is so good.
I hear great things.
It's amazing. It's amazing. What if Gideon is making a new cyborg? Yeah, so they reminded me. So that's the reveal we get at the end, is Gideon working on, they look to me like Dark Troopers from the Dark Forces games. They also look a little bit like the Purge Troopers from Jedi Fallen Order. The big boys, the big hefty boys. They're working on something, and the Dark Troopers were exoskeletons over humans, like robot exoskeletons, I think were the Mark IIs and the Mark IIIs. It was great. The episode where the adults are magically turned. Yes! Yes, and Giles and Joyce make out. And then it gets weird between them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
that
that
was good.
episode where Joyce dies, like, wounded me. I needed a moment.
Yeah.
Death so well.
Yeah, every time I'll say this about Buffy, like whenever they pulled the card of like a major character getting offed, they tended to do it well. You were like, oh no. And they didn't just were like, you're cannon fodder to make people go, you know?
Yeah. It meant something.
Were those last things with Gideon droid troopers? Yeah. I think they looked like droid troopers, dark troopers, purge troopers. They could have been. We don't know. We didn't get a good look, but they're definitely something like that. Gideon's working on something.
We're not going to speculate.
You can speculate.
I'm not. I love the speeder bike chase. Nathan made a really good comment where it's like straight out the gate, two of them decide to kill each other.
Yeah, like immediately they're just like.
And all when the guy's flying off, all I could picture was like, damn it, Greg, communicate.
Yeah, just all you got to do is be like, you know. Yeah. That's all you got to do.
And then it moved to the skies, and I love it when the TIE fighters like that, and they take off. A thing of beauty. I used to play the TIE fighter game back in 1994 when that first came out, where you had to shoot your targets through the little viewfinder. Oh, yeah, loved it. So I've got like a real affinity with TIE fighters and the design, and I just love them.
Yeah, I used to play X-Wing versus TIE Fighter like nonstop.
That's the game.
Nonstop. Yes. Because it was my first CD-ROM game.
Yeah.
With video and sound and voices and all that stuff. So good.
I absolutely do agree with Nathan here. They made the TIE fighters much cooler now.
I think TIE fighters were always cool. I've always liked TIE fighters. What specifically do you think made them cooler?
I think the compatible
just
the wings and
the fold up. The fold up is good. The TIE sound is one of my favorite because it sounds like a it sounds like an angry bird.
Oh my god, who did better just then? My TIE fighter or Anthony's TIE fighter? Anthony, you go again.
Okay.
Go again.
But it's just a bird. That's just a hurt dog.
That's got to be it. I spent so many weekends a screaming banshee.
Banshee. It sounds a lot like that. Yeah.
Folding wings are cool. TIE fighters are cooler than the stormtroopers. Stormtroopers are always going to be the punching bag of jokes.
Yeah, and TIE pilots are cooler than basically all other Imperial soldiers. I do also. Oh man, there was another thing. There's another thing at the end. Oh, X-Wing pilots as cops.
Yeah.
Can we talk about traffic? Like X-Wing pilots now that the war is over are traffic cops.
Yeah. Taking names as well. There's a vehicle that has been registered that we are trying to locate.
Wolf and Carson. Okay, so Wolf first of all was Dave Filoni. Yay! Yep. And of course his name was Wolf. Dave is obsessed with wolves. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, that's their wolves in Star Wars canon basically because of Dave. He put them in the animated series. He loves wolves. But I love this idea of, because we know that by the time The Force Awakens happens, the Republic has failed. The First Order has risen from the Empire, and it's such a short amount of time, but things go so poorly that Leia is like, I am leaving the government and I am going to become part of yet another rebellion.
Yeah.
So it's such a short amount of time, and we're like, how did they screw this up so badly?
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that we're seeing is like, these X-Wing pilots are now just like these traffic cops with just too much neighborhood to police.
Yeah.
You know? there used to being this little ragtag bunch of fighters that are fighting this giant thing, but now that the giant thing is gone, they have to police the entire giant thing.
And maintaining order in that capacity. I mean, there's a freaking Imperial base on this planet that the guy's completely not even aware of because he's just trying to find out where the Razor Crest is currently. That's consuming his time.
His job is to hunt down the Razor Crest.
Yeah. Come on. I like this comment though.
Yeah, Paul Sung. Yep, he's so good.
He's so sweet. He's just a great character.
Yeah, and he's playing it. It's funny because he is a detective, right? He's playing it like that detective in the series that's acting dumber than he is and knows more than he does. And I just love it because he's doing it because he's so unassuming, right? You look at him and he's like a little older. He's like a little soft. He's got like fatherly vibes. Yeah. But like, there are gears turning and he's kind of a secret badass,
And now he's locked onto it. He's staying on target.
Mm-hmm. Can't shake him. Yeah, Empire loyalists everywhere. Yeah.
Also,
and that's the thing. Somebody that was working at in Grief's town, fixing the Razor Crest, was working for Moff Gideon. Like the Empire's got more loyalty than the New Republic does after this war, which is like a scary thing because people don't want the New Republic. They want to be free,
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. They're
just a little campaigning, campaigning right now.
Yeah.
Could happen.
How can it not?
It could happen. Who knows?
What are the other alternatives? Who else could play Duchess Satine?
Well, like, I will say this, Maude, how they'd have to put the wrinkle makeup on you.
No, she's already dead. It's flashback sequence. Give me
sequence.
Give me some scooty booty time with Yui.
With Yui? Your old pal Yui?
Yeah. Get out of here, Chewie. I'm here with you, getting some booty scooty. Oh dear. Flashback. Then we have little baby Yoda who's done too many barrel rolls, have a spoozy in the cockpit. And we also find out that the ship repairman who's been fixing up the Razor Crest has planted a tracking beacon, which means that now Gideon's got eyes on the prize.
Well, Gideon doesn't
called the Jedi as well.
Yeah, so this is the beacon is not just leading Gideon to the child, it is also leading Gideon potentially to
the secret Jedi hideout.
The last, the last known Jedi at this point, right? Mm-hmm. Ahsoka Tano.
Because Rey's just having a little bit of a scavenge on
Jakku.
Jakku.
Is Rey born yet?
No, she's only about 17 or 19 or something.
Yeah, she's not born yet.
Not even born yet.
She's not even born yet.
But Ahsoka
she's not even a twinkle in Sheev's eye yet.
So I'm
going to have a child.
Gross, gross.
Come here and kiss me on the mouth. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Just do it. Ahsoka Tano, this is after Rebels, right?
Yeah.
So she's done all that saga within Rebels. She's faced them all, Sitch, and now this is all after that.
She's done. Yeah, it's all going to be after that.
Do you think? I can't ask. I think we'll see possibly if we get an Ahsoka Tano, then we can get like a Hera. We can get the full crew.
They're around, man. They're around. I would love to see that. I would love to see the Rebels crew. That would make me so happy. That would make me so happy.
Cast as what's his face? What is his name?
Which? Kanan?
God. No.
Freddie's character?
No. Taylor's character.
Oh, Taylor's character.
Yeah.
Why am I blanking now?
Right? I've got nothing in here.
Holy shit, Ezra. You're talking about Ezra.
Ezra, not Miller. Yes.
Why couldn't I think of Ezra? I'm sorry, Taylor. I'm sorry.
Who would you cast as Ezra?
Well, I'd have to lean right into the camera and say, our good friend Rahul Kohli.
God, are you flaming that fire? Ezra's a little kid. Rahul's like 6'3".
At this point, Ezra is not a little kid.
Yeah. Ezra Bridger.
I'd love to see it. I put Rahul into a thing as Kitster. We did a fake trailer for Kitster. Kitster is Anakin's best friend in episode 1. And we did a fake trailer in the Star Wars show for last year. Beautifully shot.
Yeah.
My crew was amazing, and we did a trailer for a fake Kitster movie. And he did an amazing job. He literally had one day in between. He just finished another job, and he had a layover before he had to go shoot Haunting. And so he literally had 9 hours, and he flew into San Francisco just to play Kitster.
Wow.
For free, just for funsies, because he loves Star Wars.
He does a lot, yeah.
And then just flew off. He was so good. So good.
We could get Thrawn, Rey Sloane. I'd love to see them rise from the shadows.
Oh, Rey Sloane.
Thrawn. Someone said Michael Fassbender should play Thrawn, and I haven't been able to shake it since.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I really want that. Yeah.
I could absolutely see that.
I will be commanding this ship now. Ugh.
Thrawn is so good.
Yeah. I read that book. Where is it? It's behind me somewhere. I read it.
The new Thrawn trilogy has been so good. Timothy Zahn fucking knocks it out of the park.
He is good. I really have been loving Claudia Gray's books as well. I've read Bloodline and Lost Stars.
Oh, Lost Stars is probably like a #1 Star Wars novel to me.
Thank you. I loved it. And I loved kind of like, because I would ask that all the time. There's so many different people that make up all the Star Destroyers, and you have to climb the ranks. And what is that like? Like, what is the process through the academy to get into an Imperial force? Like, that is just...
Well, also now
at what point does your moral compass activate and you no longer follow a protocol, but you actually feel the repercussions of the actions?
Yeah, because I think, now the movies and the TV shows, like, they're going into the moral gray areas, the ambiguities. You can sort of, they want people to show that like, oh, there's a reason why you would get into the Empire. There's a reason why maybe you shouldn't be part of the rebellion, right? Like you see in Rogue One, like they've got some real thuggish tactics sometimes, because they have to. But what I loved about Lost Stars was when it came out, there was like, those things were still very big questions, kind of, and Claudia was like, yeah, like 2 kids, what happens if one of them goes off to, one way and one goes...
Jellicoe or something?
Yeah.
Jellicle?
They were from Jellicle. They were from the planet of cats. Cat's planet.
Where was that? What was their planet called, though? It was something like that. It was like
Jellicoe, yeah, or something.
Jellicon.
It was Pelican. It was the planet Pelican. It was the planet Jello, and it was like it was a sponsorship. It was Lars Mikkelsen, Mads' brother.
Yes, Lars Mikkelsen, but then also Benedict Cumberbatch could be a good Thrawn as well. But he's
live action Thrawn.
It's kind of like we've already seen that version of Sherlock, and I think it's a little bit too close.
Yeah. No.
Damn it, that's good. But never black and white. Claudia Gray. I like that. Was funny.
Oh my goodness.
Watching when it's unnoticed. What? Last questions. Get them in. Favorite character out of the whole Star Wars universe, Carbs?
Whoo! Out of the whole Star Wars universe, Dexter Jetster.
Go. Far out. You would.
Are you Googling Dexter Jetster?
Yeah.
Dexter Jetster runs the diner in episode 2, and he gives Obi-Wan very important information because they're old buddies.
Dexter Jetster.
I'll tell you this: when I was a kid, my favorite character was 3PO. I loved 3PO.
Really?
I was a very nervous kid, and I was always worried that people weren't following the rules, and I was always worried that the people would get into trouble. There's my boy. There he is. Dexter Jetster. Believe it. Other favorite characters.
Cigarette hanging out of his mouth when he was talking or something.
No, he would never. I think it was a toothpick. He would never. He would never smoke. Yeah.
Buying death sticks.
Like Sleaze Bagano. His name is Elon Sneeze Bagano.
Just in case. That's black and white. There's no gray area there.
Yeah. If you want to know who's selling drugs, Sleaze Bagano.
Oh, everyone's saying their favorite Star Wars character. I love this. Captain Rex.
Captain Rex is so good. I gotta say my favorite clone is Fives. Fives is my favorite.
Oh, Fives.
But Rex is very good. So should Ahsoka, Boba Fett, or Bo-Katan get their own show? Sounds like the beginning of a David Letterman joke. Well, I mean, are you going to get more perfect?
Bo-Katan, because we get more Katie Sackhoff, and I want her more on screen as like.
That's what I was going to say. Are you going to get more perfect than Katie Sackhoff playing live action, the character that she played animated, killing it, being super perfect? I mean, let's find out what those Mandos are about. What are they up to?
Yeah.
But I have a feeling their story is going to. I mean, their story has to weave more into this one a little bit because everybody right now. It's the race for the Darksaber, even though Mando doesn't know he's part of the race for the Darksaber. He's part of it.
Well, if he took his helmet off, maybe he could see a little further into his truth.
Right. Remember, like when they took his helmet off at the end of the first season, they really made it look like he had been wearing that helmet his whole life.
They didn't take it off.
Remember when he took it off and IG-11 gave him like the spray, the medical spray, and he just looked like he'd been wearing a helmet like all day. You know, his nose, and he was sweaty. He was like his hair was clammy. You're just like, oh yeah, you've been wearing that helmet for years.
Do you want to see my really good Max Rebo impersonation?
Yes. That's actually pretty on point. It's pretty on point.
That's all I had. Should Mando use the Darksaber? Yeah.
Sure. If somebody's like, here's a Darksaber, use a Darksaber.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Mando is like, we know now that Din was raised in basically like a Zealots cult, right?
Yeah.
Children of the Watch, the Night's Watch, like Dark Watch. So he may not know what the Darksaber is.
No, and he doesn't know how to wield that kind of power. Unlimited.
Have you ever seen Giancarlo talking about wielding the Darksaber?
Have we seen that?
He did an interview with us where he was talking about when he came onto the set, and they were, yes, absolutely. That's not even a question. He came onto set and talked about learning everything about the Darksaber, and like when he was told the lore of it, and like how powerful it is, and how he's supposed to wield it, and they sent him to they gave him classes, like classes, so when he holds it and when he in the first, he knows how to do it, and he's like it's powerful, and you have to respect it because it'll get away from you. So you have to, it's always, you wield it with a tight wrist. Your wrist isn't loose. And you have to hold the power with your body. And I was just like, this is so cool, man. So cool.
He's been in a bunch of really good stuff lately, actually.
He's amazing. Giancarlo is amazing. And he's such a little ray of light. And you must have interviewed him for something.
No.
Never?
No.
You would love him. He's such a good interview. He's into everything.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I love that.
He's one of those people where he's into everything. He's got a real Goldblum energy about him.
Interviewed him. Fantastic.
Yeah.
We sang
a little less quirky.
Yeah, he is. And what you want to do? Boom, 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 boom. I was like, yeah. I'm just going to bathe in this interview right now. It was fun.
No.
Hey, anyway, that's our time. Thank you so much for dropping by the Maudalorian to talk random shit about Star Wars. For this particular episode, it was season 2, episode 4, The Seige. Technically chapter
12.
12. They're messing with me for that. It's just messed with me. It's like it's messing with me. And I like to just do our final thoughts. Star Wars. Where can people find
final
you?
thought.
You're doing things.
Yeah, I'm at a Carboni on everything except for Twitch, where I am Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. I'm also every Friday. You can see me on the podcast We Have Concerns with Jeff Kanata. It's our science comedy podcast. That's wehaveconcerns.com. And I do a couple shows on Pixel Circus, twitch.tv/Pixel Circus. One of them is a tabletop role-playing show. Our main campaign is on hiatus right now. And we are doing
puppets.
A puppet RPG. All of our puppets are deposed gods that have to live on Earth as puppets.
Did Gina make this one?
Gina DeVivo made all the puppets.
She's so clever.
This is Karen, the goddess of minor why am I
Karen, the god of minor inconvenience?
Yeah, she's the god of entitlement and misplaced anger. So you can catch me there. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Pixel Circus, we do a morning news show, me and Seige Ryan, who was in chat earlier. And it's called It's Too Early, and it's from 8 to 9:30 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Pacific time.
Oh, that is early.
Way too early.
It's too early. Thank you so much for dropping by the Maudalorian. Really appreciate it. If you haven't given youtube.com/geekbomb a sub already, do it. Also, all the episodes of Functions and Flagons are now out. Do it.
Do it. I'm on one of those.
I feel like I can get quite low with it.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah. I am the kind of knob, though, that would totally dress up as like the sunken, grizzled Palpatine for Halloween, and I would loom in the corner being like, do it.
You should.
Well, I've still got to do Edgar from Men in Black when he's in the body of Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, yeah.
And, what was my other one that I had to do as well? Oh, gosh, there's one more. I just fleetingly thought of it for a second. I've already done Dumbledore. Yeah.
And that's the way you spoke. That was your Dumbledore impression.
Sugar in water. Sugar. Yeah. Still waiting for that one. I've been singing that one for like 3 years. It will happen one of these days. Anyway, that's the end of the broadcast. I really appreciate your time. God, maybe next week will be better, Maude. Maybe we'll be better next week.
Oh, you did great. I had a good time.
Take care. Bye.